If you've had a hysterectomy and your doctor has cleared you for more movement and said you're good to go to start doing more activities, but you just don't trust your body yet, well then you're gonna wanna watch this video. I have real stories from clients that have gone through a hysterectomy at all different stages. And what I wanna share with you is the common feeling that women tell me, I just don't trust my body yet. When can I go back to activities? I just don't feel confident in what I was doing before. Can I really trust my body? Well, not all pelvic floors are the same when it comes to recovering from a hysterectomy. Some women will take a lot longer to recover. Some women, it's fairly soon, within 4 to 8 weeks, that they start feeling like themselves again. So no matter what stage you're at, don't beat yourself up about it. There are so many different stages and different types of surgery and recovery. So watching this video is just going to give you a little more confidence and clarity, and also share some real life stories of women that have recovered at all different stages. And just know that is a common thing I hear as a pelvic floor physical therapist and Pilates instructor. I hear from women all the time that just feel like they can't trust their body again. So I'm going to tell you first about a woman that I helped that was actually a nurse. And so she had to be on her feet for hours during the day, 8 to 12 hour shifts. She was initially off of work while she was recovering, but worried that when she goes back and she starts lifting patients and having to move around a lot, that her body wasn't going to hold up the same way, and she might hurt her back, or she might aggravate where she had the surgery and cause further complications. So what does this mean? Now, it's normal just to feel like you have a lot of questions about your recovery and your surgery. On this channel, I do have a lot of resources to help you and guide you through what you should be doing step by step and during different stages. But I can tell you from firsthand, and this has happened with other clients that I have helped virtually, in 6 weeks, she made a lot of progress with just starting some walking, doing a lot of rest and recovery and breathing exercises, and even just connecting to her core muscles with some gentle guided Pilates-based movements. What really happens after a hysterectomy is many women just think about their pelvic floor or their abdominals, but really your core is made up of a whole system. And if you want to start trusting your body again, you really need to work the whole system together. So it may not just be the pelvic floor, these muscles in red, but if you had a total hysterectomy or even have portal sites at the abdominal region, it's learning how to get those muscles to respond and heal as well. And then you have your back muscles that support your spine in the back, and your diaphragm, your breathing muscle at the top. So this whole system has to work together. It's not about just going back and doing Kegels and squeezing your pelvic floor to protect your bladder. But now that you have more space in this area, you do want to protect your bladder, and you do want to protect that whole pelvic area. With more space there, your muscles have to work a little bit harder to give your bladder more support. You also may notice some achiness or lower abdominal discomfort, pressure, even bloating. This is also very common in a lot of the clients that I have seen. So having a support system of all these muscles all together is really going to be the best thing that you can do to set your body up for success. Now, going back to prior videos all about a walking program or some exercises that are very gentle and the best things that you can do in the first 6 weeks of recovery, I want you to go back and watch those when you are finished watching this one. But just know it's normal not to trust your body again, and starting off with that whole system of muscles is really going to give you a lot of benefit and a lot more confidence in your body. Now, jumping back into things like running, weightlifting, any core workouts with a lot of planks or crunches, that is going to require coordination of the muscles. It's not just about weakness, and it's not just about what happens during the surgery and giving you recovery, but it's getting your brain to connect to your muscles and really coordinating with it. And we start this first with some simple breathing exercises. So Diaphragmatic breathing exercises are going to help you connect with those core muscles and make you feel like your brain actually knows what to do and recognizes them again. This happens after any type of surgery. Even if I were to see someone after a shoulder surgery, a knee surgery, you have to learn how to trust your body again. You have to learn how to get your brain to connect to your muscles again. And this is a normal disruption after any kind of surgery. When your body goes through trauma, it has to learn again. So with the core, starting off with some diaphragmatic breathing, some deep breaths where you're breathing into your belly and breathing into your rib cage can be a great way to not only help pain relief, but also just help those muscles learn what they need to do again. So when you start lifting anything heavy or you put your pelvis and your body under more load with higher intensity activities, those muscles can respond the best way possible. We also want to trust that those muscles know what to do when it comes to supporting your bladder. It can be very common, even months or years down the road, for women to say that they later had a bladder prolapse or that bladder started descending down into the pelvic cavity in a way that they don't have enough muscle support. So if you're just trying to do Kegels and squeeze those muscles around your pelvic floor, you want to really incorporate exercises that are going to work your deep abdominals, your breathing muscles, your back muscles, and your hips all together to coordinate and actually help support the bladder even better too. Now, doing this in the first 6 months after surgery is going to give you a huge push forward and also prevent any long-term problems that may arise. But if you are watching this and you're still months or years after surgery, there is still so much potential for you doing some gentle Pilates-based exercises that focus on breathing, focus on deep core work, because that way you can give yourself a better foundation to either stop back pain, help with prolapse, or help with incontinence too. So not only breath work and the right type of core movements, but starting off gently. So we don't want to get into anything too strenuous in that first 12 weeks at least after surgery. Once you're cleared by your doctor and there's no restrictions on what you can lift, that doesn't mean go deadlift 100 pounds. I had a client I was working with that is a power lifter, and she was excited to get back to her pre-surgery workouts. But what does that actually mean? Well, starting with the basics and starting with her core really connecting when she's doing squats, doing deadlifts, and then starting with only 25 to 30% of what she was lifting before, seeing how she feels the next day, and then gradually adding more weight week by week. This also includes just low load movements that are going to encourage her muscles to get stronger, but doing it in a progressive load, not overdoing it in that first 3 months. Now, at the time, she's 8 weeks after surgery, so she is getting back to the gym to start doing more. But I've also had clients at 8 weeks where they are still in a lot of pain or discomfort and they can't quite get there yet. So we encourage some walking, we encourage just some gentle core work, glute strengthening, all of this being part of a lower load. Just take your time getting through those movements, and walking too is very helpful. So I really want to encourage you to reconnect to your muscles before really loading and working on the strengthening. That's what is going to pay off in the long run, and what has helped the clients that I am referencing and talking about that I've worked with. You want to do movements that make your body feel safe. So think of your nervous system as a way to help you through this. Your nervous system can be on high alert anytime you're going through a recovery from surgery. You might be in a lot of pain, or you might have a lot of anxiety about your recovery. But working on some slow, deep breaths, doing some walking, getting outside, doing some things that calm your nervous system down are actually going to help your recovery. So that is also a very beneficial way that I've guided clients that just don't trust their body again, is they start integrating some things like massage, walking, deep breathing, listening to music, even meditating, some gentle yoga, things like that that are going to help you be able to integrate and get back into the activities that you were doing before. So you have to start somewhere, but it's important to know that everybody's journey is going to look a little bit different. So the goal of all of this is to trust your body again, and also just start building a foundation before we start loading and adding more. And this can be done with 5 minutes a day, not even that. Your brain needs to connect to your muscles. And I integrated right below, I put my free guide, 5-minute pelvic floor and core reset. So you can go ahead and read that, look at the visual, and it's something you can integrate in your daily life. Very gentle and safe to do in your recovery. So grab that free guide. And if you have found this helpful, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. I hope you have an amazing recovery. Now, whatever stage that you're in, or maybe you're prepping for surgery, go watch more videos on this channel, and I would love to guide you through your recovery process. And just know your journey is not going to look like somebody else, but the more tools that you have to help yourself, then the better. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in another video.